podcast recorded. This computer we're up to is recording. Yes. All right, we're back. It's another episode of Catching Up. This week, my guest is Winston Hodges from Richmond, Virginia. I was
Yeah,
at
Richmond. Yep.
Richmond, Virginia. This week, we're talking about C-Lab 2021 and 2019's Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Yes.
So, Winston, how's it going? How's quarantine for you?
It's going good. Getting a ton of time to watch stuff for the first time in like years, but just staying busy.
Yeah.
Can't complain too much.
You said you're camped out by school buses.
Yes, I am. I'm living the country. Like I'm outside of Richmond right now, staying with my mom. So like I'm in the country. So I'm using a school bus for internet that they're supposed to use for distance learning, but I am hijacking to use for podcasting.
Yeah, well, if it's fast, it's fast.
Yeah, for real.
I'm social distancing with my parents for now, and then I am attempting to move back to Florida.
Oh, nice. That'll be a good move.
Yeah, no, I'm sure a hurricane's going to hit the day I like pull into the state.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna get everything set up and then have to evacuate.
No, I'm not evacuating. Fuck it, I'm getting a first floor. I will sit by the pool.
Yeah.
I'll live stream that bitch. I don't give a shit. All right. So I guess let's start with C-Lab 2021. It's one of the original Adult Swim shows.
Yes.
They use the format where they use what was that original animation from a Hanna-Barbera show, C-Lab 2020.
Yep.
Take it away. Tell us all about 2021.
All right. So yes, it's one of the original Adult Swim shows, exactly like what you said. I used to love this show purely because like when Adult Swim came out, I was like 11 years old. So I was like at my most like I want to see cartoons say bad words. It's what I want in my life.
So very much me.
Yeah, and so like it also Adult Swim was like the first thing that I remember waiting, like pretending I went to bed and then sneaking downstairs to like watch. And I always loved C-Lab 2021 because it's like the original C-Lab 2020 show is one of the most boring, god awful, because it's like the original show is like they're fucking Greenpeace underwater researchers basically, and every episode's just them like hanging out and saving dolphins and fighting environmental things. It's like fucking the lamest Captain Planet shit like ever. Like there's nothing good in it at all, and they just took it and made it insane. And I was fascinated by their ability to take old cartoons and make it like something completely different. Like, so that's basically the premise of it. It's just it's a lab under the water. All these people are basically sociopaths. There's only like there's only like one character, like Dr. Quinn, the Black Doctor. He's the only character that like could even remotely be considered a good normal person. But even throughout the course of the series, he does like some really wild, crazy, fucked up shit.
So it's not serial. It's just episodic, right? Like each episode stands on its own.
Yeah, for the most part, like there's no real like the only like light serialization. So like Quinn hooks up with one of the like they'll call back like if people have hooked up with other people. Like that type of thing. But as far as like storyline and stuff goes, the only thing is like the guy that played Captain Murphy, he died like during the third season. So like they write him off the show, and that's the only real serialized thing is they bring the voice actor. Harry Goz is the guy who died, and they brought his son on to voice the replacement character. But other than that, there's no real serialization to it at all. It's like it's just weird and wild and nuts, and some episodes are funny because they don't make any fucking sense, and there's other ones that are just like legitimately some of the most brilliant 11 minutes of comedy.
Yeah, it's an Adam Reed show, which I love. He's the creator
Yeah.
of so we watched the pilot, which I watched it, and I'm still not 100% sure what happened. And then we watched episode 4. I usually watch the pilot and someone's favorite episode to try to figure out what happens in between there on the season. But since this is episodic and not serial, it is just easy to just get lost for 22 minutes over two shows or
Yep.
two episodes. I remember watching this on like Sunday nights, I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah, it was on like Sunday nights, and then it was on like randomly on a Thursday, or there'd be a marathon. Or if you're still up at 4 a.m., they just throw it on before they switch over to the backup programming.
Yeah. Because that's
Uh,
what like Adult Swim would do is like for that first year of Adult Swim, they were on every Sunday, but they only had 4 TV shows. So they're 11 minutes apiece. So they're showing the same fucking episodes of the show over and over and like over again. So that first year, I probably saw like that the pilot and the episode I asked you to watch, Chickmate, like 30 30 times as an 11-year-old.
oh no, I think I watched the wrong one.
Which one did you watch?
I watched iRobot and Chickmate.
Okay, I watched Chickmate. Which one is iRobot? Because I know
iRobot, when the station is danger from a hull breach, the crew ponders what life would be like if they put their brains inside of robot bodies.
that one's good too.
Yeah, I was supposed to watch the one where they start a pirate radio station.
Yeah.
No worries. So I guess we can talk about Chickmate. Debbie's biological clock goes off. She tries to find a crew member that would make a good father for her as yet unconceived baby. The whole episode is crazy. There's jokes about Black Debbie and White Debbie, and Dr. Quinn is just dunking on people and like on being better than them.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, it has to me that episode has like the most really good jokes in 11 minutes. Like it opens with Debbie, the one they end up calling like where they had the argument with Black Debbie, just yelling at a child, and they cut to like her fucking the conversation between Stormy and everyone else about Black Debbie versus White Debbie. I remember thinking it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen as an 11-year-old. Like, and then being like, how would you feel, Stormy, if people called you White Stormy? And he's like, there's a Black Stormy. I don't know. I don't know. I love it.
I saw that. I was like, that is not the point. It's funny. It's got a pretty stacked cast. All right, who's your favorite cast or character on the series?
In general, like I am a big fan of like Captain Murphy is pretty great, but like I always forget the name of the character, but the character that's in the chair all the time, he has like one of my favorite lines in this episode because his whole thing is he's just trying to get them to eat the baby. And it's like it's so brilliant. He's like, I've got a book. Oh, what's the book? A Modest Proposal. What's it about? Eating babies. So I'm gonna look up his name before I fucking Sparks. So like Sparks and Captain Murphy are probably my 2 favorite characters, but Sparks is probably the biggest sociopath on the show. Like continuously he does really fucking crazy shit, and like trying to eat a baby isn't even top fucking 5 I think for the series of like worst things that he's tried to do.
Okay. All right, who's your least favorite character? Like one character you could do without?
Probably Marco, Eric Estrada's character. He never really had like. There's a period where he goes missing for like the second half of the series, and like he was never a part of like my favorite episodes. Really, he's got funny stuff, but if I had to get rid of one, it would definitely be Marco because I think everyone else is just too necessary for the show to work.
All right. Do you think it would work if they brought the show back, or is this just a product of its time?
I don't think that any of those original Adult Swim shows would really work if they brought them back. Like I think that like they finally canceled Aqua Teen a few years ago, and I feel like that's the only one. But like I think if they brought back C Lab and it wasn't people like that had originally watching it, I don't think they would pick up new viewers because I've tried to show it to people that are younger than me. It's like either hate it or like don't get it, and they're just like, I don't get why this is funny, and I'm like, I can't. If you don't know why it's funny that the white character told the black doctor he thought he was a doctor, like Dr. Dre, like if you don't get that, you won't. This show's not for you.
I thought it was a nickname.
Yeah, I thought it was a nickname. It's like East Side.
Uh, normally, I try to decide whether or not I will go back and watch the series. I think I've actually seen this entire series, so I can't.
Oh, really?
It has been more than a minute since I've seen it, but like I believe I've seen this entire series. Um, so
Yeah,
I guess
it's short. It's only like 52 episodes, and they're all 11 minutes long. So it's
yeah.
like it's not
'Cause-
even the length of like a full season of fucking Dexter or something. Like you could crank it out
Oh,
in a
this is a
day.
really good airplane ride. Is how long these are.
Yeah, exactly.
Just going through the Wikipedia, also known as the Bible of this show, because I use it to I use it to make wildly unfounded claims, and I back it up with
Perfect.
um, characters: Captain Hazel, Hank Murphy, Captain Belafron, Tornado Shanks. Wow, that's a name. Lieutenant Jodine Sparks, Debbie White Debbie Dupree. Oh, they did call her White Debbie.
White Debbie Dupree, baby.
Derek Stormy Waters. There's a full name. Dr. Quentin Q. Quinn. Marco Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Hesh Hepplewhite, and Debbie Black, Debbie Allison Love, Dr. Iliad Verge, and Dolphin Boy, and of course Sharko.
Yeah, which is the half shark, half human son of Marco.
Yeah, I feel like this is the kind of thing that I'm going to give another, like, next time it's on Adult Swim, I will probably stop and watch it.
Yeah.
All right. Now, the real reason we're here to talk about 2019's Detective Pikachu.
Yes.
It was upsetting.
Did you watch it recently?
I watched it again today.
Okay. Yeah,
I watched it for the first time this weekend, and then I watched it again today.
So what upset you the most about it?
Let's go through the plot real fast or the plot summary. We'll go with according to Wikipedia's plot. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is long. Why is that so long?
Yeah, sometimes the plot summary on Wikipedia is they just fucking write the movie beat for beat out.
Yeah.
But it's basically this guy doesn't have a Pokemon. Like he wants to like basically be a detective. He gets a Pokemon. It's a Pikachu. It can talk to him, and he has to like basically work on helping this Pikachu find his memory and find his dad. Like that's the general plot synopsis, and then Mewtwo's in there. And
of course, Pikachu and Mewtwo are in there. It's a
yeah.
Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. The first scene where they're trying to hunt a Cubone and then he gets owned by it, I was like, oh, that's what this whole movie's going to be. It's going to be this. But there was a very violent murder in the cold open.
Yes.
It was implied to have a very violent murder.
Yeah. Perfect for children.
Yeah. Also, I was like, this is set in Japan. There is one Japanese person in this entire film. And he's on screen for a hot second.
Yeah, I mean, they Americanized the shit out of Pokemon to make it palatable for the United States.
When Pikachu, as voiced by Ryan Reynolds, makes his first appearance on screen, I was like, oh, we're doing this, are we? I like that they picked a good mix of old generation and new generation Pokemon. And
yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And as it started, I think it was 12 minutes in, I was like, oh, I'm too old for this. Because I don't recognize most of these.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got is it's like maybe 15 minutes into the movie, I was like, man, I am pissed this did not come out 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I had been like 13 or 14 years old, I think I would say this is the greatest movie of all time.
I mean, it's got PG-13 murder. The only thing it really didn't have is like sex, but like there was murder. I think Pikachu says "damn" at one point.
Yeah, there's a little bit of swearing, and that was the weirdest part is because it's like I saw this like right after I had seen like Deadpool, so it was weird to hear Ryan Reynolds' voice and not hear him saying fuck and shit.
Yeah,
and all that, which would have made that movie amazing.
Yeah. I feel like if this was a hard R, this movie either needed to like scroll it back to like a G or go for it and go for a hard
Yeah,
R. It
it's a
had like this weird identity issue.
yeah, it's a weird like middle ground because I do think they were trying to make it adult enough for people our age to like not be furious that they did it, but young enough that kids could watch it. And I think it would have been way better. I agree with it if they had just gone, this is a real murder mystery. It's going to be brutally violent. Pikachu's going to curse. It's going to be like Pokemon are going to get killed, or just be like, this is a children's movie. But it was weird going to the theater and being in a theater with a bunch of adults and children at the same time, and
Yeah.
everyone was as excited as each other.
So I mean, the movie starts with our main character Tim and his friend Jack, and they are trying to find. I guess they're trying to catch a Cubone, so Jack's not lonely anymore. It's very heavy-handed. There's a lot of like emotion up front. You're like, oh, okay, all right, guess
Yeah,
we're doing this, and then boom, Jack's dad is dead.
yeah. So this is the last movie I saw in the theaters with my dad before my dad died.
Oh no.
Like literally we saw this movie like opening weekend, and then my dad like passed away like a month later, like unexpectedly. And so now I'm just like, I probably should have seen a happier movie than the one with the dad at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. Their code open has a violent murder. There's Mewtwo. Jack, our main character, doesn't have a Pokemon. He travels to Rhyme City, where is that Bill Nighy? Is that who the main? Is that who the old man is? Bill Nighy from
It might be, yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris Gere, who I only have ever seen on what show was that? Oh, You're the Worst. So it's weird that the guy from You're the Worst is in a children's film.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's a lot of Pokemon just roaming around. There's really good Pokemon as background actors. They're just about the only thing like there's almost nothing that isn't CGI in this.
Yeah. And that's probably like the part that I liked the most was just watching the Pokemon just doing their normal stuff. And like when no one's talking, you're just like, okay, this is cool. Like I wish they had a game that looked like this when I was a kid, or like if
Right?
this movie had come out. But like when I thought Ryan Reynolds did a pretty good job as Pikachu, just because I like Ryan Reynolds, but I do totally agree. It's just such a weird vibe that the murder really makes you think it's going to be more adult than it is.
It's very silly, although the part where they're interrogating Mr. Mime, where Mr. Mime definitely like they were so close to doing a Fatal Attraction thing. Is that Fatal Attraction where she
Yeah.
Yeah, they were so close to that. They were so close to Mr. Mime flipping him off. Like you could
I
tell they
know.
animated it.
Yeah, like when they were pitching it in the writer's room, they're like, all right, there'll be a fatal attraction. Mr. Mime will open his crotch. He'll flick off. Like,
Uh,
that it's written in the original script.
that scene where he threatens to burn a Pokemon alive. And
Yeah, like,
it's in mine, but it's like, wow, you went from nothing to murdering a Pokemon in less than 24 hours. The female character, God, what's her name? Oh crap. Uh,
is it?
she's the full of she's a journalist, Lucy, the female. She's got a Psyduck, and I was like, oh, we're gonna be doing
Yeah.
Psyduck's nonsense the whole time. A lot of this movie was just me flashing back as a kid, playing the game, going, damn it, I don't want to play with this character. Give me something else in this car. Rita Ora we'll get to Rita Ora in a moment. So they interrogated Mr. Mime. They find their way to an underground club where there's Pokemon DJs and underground Pokemon battles, and they've got a new drug. So far in the it takes 45 minutes to get to the first Pokemon battle one, which is your first strike.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Like that's almost 2 full episodes.
Yeah.
There's drug use.
Yeah, there is drug use.
and it's not even implied. There's an explicit drug use within like the first 15 minutes. Uh, Pikachu is wisecracking and addicted to caffeine. Pikachu's just running around drinking coffee, and you're like, what's happening here now? All right.
Yeah, it's like he has a problem.
I was very upset there was no Team Rocket.
Yeah, that would have been I think a game changer for me.
Yeah.
If there had been, because I love Team Rocket on the show and in the games. That would have been like just gotten an actor to play Jesse and James. It would have been icing on the cake.
Even a little cameo where they're gonna steal something, and then just like the TV show, they get blasted off again. Like, how great was
Yeah,
that?
that would have been awesome.
But to have your first, and let's be honest, your only real Pokemon battle being Pikachu versus Charizard, and it's a rematch and an underground fighting ring, kind of here for it. Good fight. So they track down the source of the drug. Of course, leads them back to a secret facility owned by the people who own this town. It's a whole thing. For a couple, this movie had trouble deciding what it was going to be. Like, I was like, is this a crime thriller? Is it, is this a mystery?
Yeah.
Is it a crime thriller? Is it
definitely an identity crisis for this movie.
Yeah. The journalist character was utterly insane. She made no sense. But we got some good Psyduck action in there, so I guess worth it.
Yeah. Psyduck was cool in it. I just thought I wanted it to just be fights the whole time. Like,
right?
Like if there's gonna be like almost no plot anyway, that or it's like a super, like I would rather it just be an hour and a half of just violent Pokemon battles.
Fast forward a little bit, we get, they make it through the science facility, and now the mystery, they figured out the mystery, they figured out that there's genetic testing, and I think Ryan Reynolds has a joke about, or Ryan Reynolds and Pikachu has a joke about climate change in the movie. I was like, okay, this is heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Was that supposed to be for a laugh? I mean, I laughed, but it was one of those, haha, I get it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm smart.
Yeah. And then Pikachu comes to the realization that he screwed over his partner, which is Tim's dad, Harry. And then they separate and they go there. They have the heroic separation until Pikachu comes to the realization that, oh no, I didn't screw him over. We were attacked.
Yeah.
So he rushes back to the city, which had to be miles away. This is a tiny rat. He did not one night.
No.
Unless Pikachu learned teleport, and I'm so sorry to anyone listening, because you definitely just was like, Pikachu doesn't know teleport.
Yeah, no, right? Yeah, sorry, nerds.
There's an epic battle scene that goes across a parade against the villain, which is Bill Nighy and Mewtwo, which, that man never thought that he would be playing Mewtwo in anything.
Yeah, he like yeah, no, it I would love to know, like that's always what I like, is when it's like an actor that's been in so much stuff, and then they finally are at the point in their career where they just need money. Like, it's a money grab that he's in this. It's just like, this guy's probably like a classically trained, like Shakespearean actor, and it's just like, you're gonna play a scientist that's also connected to a Mewtwo, and he's like, oh.
It was like, basically, you're the hero, you're the founder and the villain from Jurassic Park, but then you get to be an alien.
Yep.
And he was like, and how much money are you dumping in my backyard?
Yeah, it's like, absolutely. That sounds great.
The budget for this was $150 million.
That's so much money.
And it made 433.
Whew. Movie. Ugh. That's so much fucking money.
Yeah, so there's a big battle scene between Pikachu and Mewtwo. And also there's a battle scene between Tim and a Ditto.
Yeah, which was so weird. Like a human fighting a fucking Pokemon. It's
I was
weird.
like, I get why they use a Ditto because it can literally be anything, but also, what are we doing right now?
Yeah, when the human took the glasses off and he had the tiny Ditto eyes, it's like, this is fucking terrifying.
Oh, there's this awful line where the Ditto turns into the journalist that he has a crush on, and he goes, "If you think I have a problem hitting a Ditto just because it looks like a woman, I have a," and then he gets kicked in the face, and I was like, "Ooh, that line could have gone."
Yep.
Everyone knows the
Exactly.
Ditto's not actually that woman. And
Yeah.
no one's tuning in right now thinking, "Oh God, he just punched a woman."
He just hit a woman in the face.
I mean, he didn't get a hit out, so I guess feminism.
Yeah.
This movie does not pass the Bechdel test. There are not two female characters that have names that ever interact.
Nope. Not at all.
But I guess there's only 5 humans in the entire film. The movie goes on. There's a battle scene. They destroy it. They do like 4 9/11s worth to this small town of people. They half the people have been turned into Pokemon, and then Mew turns them back out of Pokemon, and then we cut to the big reveal that Pikachu is Ryan Reynolds, who is actually Tim's father. Oh no, dude. We're back. Had a mild technological interruption. That's not even a real word. But we're talking. So we're in the battle scene. They seriously laid waste to this major metropolitan area called Rhyme
Destroyed
City.
it.
Yeah, destroyed by a Pikachu and a Mewtwo battle. And I guess if you just live with Pokemon, you're used to property destruction.
Yeah,
It's
it's like it's nothing new.
it seems like people are like, yeah, all right, well, this is our, this is where we live, so we're not going to destroy it too bad.
Yeah, it's why they have insurance.
And then we cut to the big final reveal that, oh no, Ryan Reynolds, who was voicing Pikachu, was actually turned into Pikachu to save his life.
Yep.
Uh, and no one asked the question how Ryan Reynolds became a cop in Japan.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's like,
also, can we talk about how his name is Harry Goodman?
I know.
So ham-fisted. It was like, oh, he's a good man, right?
Yeah.
Um, so the story ends with, opening a door to a sequel, obviously, with
Yeah.
with Ryan Reynolds and Tim deciding that they're going to live together now that Tim is 21.
Nice. Move in with dad.
Yeah, right. And it was like, you definitely had your own place and a job.
Yeah.
So overall thoughts, what do you rank it out of 10?
I would probably give it a 5 out of 10 because it is like it hit a lot of nostalgia buttons for me. Like, oh, I really like this, but it made me want like an adult Pokemon movie. Like
Like a
like
Digimon?
yeah, for real. Like just something badass where it's just like if that had been like Pokemon meets like True Detective, I would have been like, this fucking rules.
So
Like
you
this
needed
is so
actual murder in this.
yeah, I needed to see it and it'd be fucking brutal. I would have been on board. But the way that is, it's just like I didn't hate watching it when I saw it, but I immediately afterwards was just like, I might have just wasted fucking an hour and a half of my life. Like I
Oh, I
can't.
feel that way every time I go see a movie. Because it gets to like the 87-minute mark. I'm like, all right, wrap this up. Come on, I got shit
Yeah,
to do.
yeah. It's like, come on, let's go.
I am
I
already out
got
of popcorn. Come on.
yeah. Yeah, I thought it was fine. I don't know. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was cool to so I teach, so it was really cool to go to school like the following week and like be able to talk to my students about it because they fucking loved it. They thought it was amazing. They're like, this is the best movie ever made. And I'm like, okay.
I'm gonna go a little higher. I'm gonna go 7.5 on this. I
Okay.
don't I don't think that I would seek it out again, but if it was on TV, depending on what scene it's on, I would sit and watch the next commercial break.
Okay,
Uh,
I think that's fair.
Ryan Reynolds is very funny.
Yeah,
Justice Smith, who played his son, pretty adequate actor.
yeah,
The girl who was not, I swore she was like either Abigail Breslin or one of the lesser Deschanels, but
yeah,
she's her own actress. God, I should know. I'm gonna learn her name. Catherine Newton. Rita Ora was in this movie for a couple of scenes, and
yeah,
you have a fantastic agent.
yeah,
Someone was like, "Hey, you know what? We need a British person who to lend some gravitas to this," and they were like, "We have Bill Nighy," and they're like, "No, British."
yeah. Another Brit.
Get me Rita Ora. Uh, this was a whole thing. Ken Watanabe is the only Japanese person in the movie,
In the whole movie.
in the whole movie. Um, yeah, that that's unsettling. This, I mean, when it was released in Japan, they dubbed over all the voices with Japanese actors, obviously,
Yeah,
um, but they didn't replace the actor playing. They didn't replace the actor in the scene with Ryan Reynolds,
yeah.
so it's still Ryan Reynolds.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So that is
That's
Detective
Detective
Pikachu.
Pikachu. Yeah, that is what it is.
Um, I kind of hope there's a sequel that pops up because everything's a money is a cash grab now.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm curious to see where they go next because like, are they gonna find a new way to put Ryan Reynolds back in the Pikachu, or is it just gonna be like a detective thing with now it doesn't talk? So it's like,
well, they did have that helmet thing where where Mewtwo and
we're like all joined up.
yeah, so that could be a thing.
Yeah,
The technology is there.
yeah, they have the ability.
And also, it's a movie based on a rat that controls electricity. You don't. They can just say, "Yeah, thanks to blankety blank." It's one line of dialogue.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. So, Winston, what are you watching these days?
I'm currently binging through Justified, which is like one of my favorite shows ever. It's got like Timothy Oliphant on it. It was on FX for like 6 years. But like the whole premise is it's just about this United States Marshal who has to go back home to where he was raised in Kentucky. It's like really country. It's really Southern. It's like a modern day Western, but it's really funny. The writing in it's really good. So it's like a lot of action, a lot of like really brilliant writing. It's awesome.
Um, Margot Martindale was on that for like a second, wasn't
Yeah, she was on the second season. Yep, she was great in it. She played one of the bad guys in the second season, and it was like I think she won an Emmy for that. She was like fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I people like if anyone has listened to previous episodes, I'm in the middle of the newsroom. I just finished season 2. Last night
Okay.
I watched the show from the creator of Rick and Morty, Justin Roiland.
Yeah, I like binged through that this past weekend because it's only like 8 episodes.
Yeah, it has the same problem that Rick and Morty does, where there's a much better show inside of the show that they only cut away to for bullshit, and I'm like, no, that's what I want to see.
Oh, so you liked the whole? I don't want to spoil it, but you'd like. So is your favorite episode the episode that was entirely set in the wall?
Yeah,
Have you seen it? Yeah,
I mean, it was still insane, but
yeah. I was surprised because like it looks so much like Rick and Morty that I was like, all right, this is just gonna be like, and I like Rick and Morty a lot, but I was just worried it wasn't gonna be good at all. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was funnier than I thought it was going to be.
yeah,
So
it makes me believe that no one ever told Justin Roiland that he can do a second take.
yeah, yeah, for real.
Like I feel like he thinks he either gets it in the first take or it ain't getting got.
Like if he would rather just keep riffing on the first take and be like, all right, you guys make something out of this shit.
Yeah, and then make something they tried. All
Yeah.
right, so where can people find you on the internets?
Just everywhere at Winston H Comedy, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Winston Hodges on Facebook.
All right, I'm Dwayne Duke. If you found this, you know how to find me. I guess we'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye.